Alright, hello and welcome everyone back to another episode of Heroes A to Z. As always, my name is Conman. We're checking out today Cassia, ranged assassin from Diablo. Before we get started, just a quick note. So I did get some new equipment, picked up a new microphone. I have a slightly different setup since the last videos that I've been doing. I did a couple sound checks. It sounded okay to me, but let me know how it turns out. I'm hoping it's just a little bit more clear and we lose some of that extraneous, extra background noise that I was getting before. So any problems, let me know. Certainly things can be adjusted, as need be. So that being said, this is Cassia. Cassia is going to focus, she's going to be primarily I won't say primarily, but her bread and butter will be anti-auto attack. And we'll talk about why. So her trait, first off, is avoidance. While moving unmounted, so it doesn't count if you're on your horsey there, on your pony. Cassie gains 65 physical armor against her heroic basic attacks. So you can see in the character screen here, she's got 0, and then as soon as I start moving, 65. So essentially, if you're better than me at stutter stepping, anytime somebody's trying to attack you, if you're moving, you are going to be taking considerably less damage. Think about that, if you have a hero that's hitting you with quick attacks, not that Tracer does a lot of damage straight away with each individual attack, but as long as you're moving, you're taking 65% less damage from each one of these attacks. So that's her main trait. The other thing she does, and we'll get to it when she gets to her W ability, she does bonus damage to blinded targets. So she'll synergize pretty well with some other heroes. But let's talk about the Q first, then we'll get to the W. First is Q Lightning Fury. It's a skill shot, 360 degree, rounder wherever she does it. Hurl a lightning javelin. It deals 421 damage to the first enemy hit, and then it splits into 2 perpendicular, and they each deal 421. So if I go like this, you'll see it splits off. We'll toggle cooldowns here. I can do something like this here, and you saw it hit those other 2 as it went through. So you can, if you get a bunch of enemy, there you go, just aggro the mercs. If you got a bunch of enemy heroes standing in a line, you can fire this off and hit them all in one shot. And you can see right here, untalented, without any damage bonus or anything like this. This hits for 421 on a 4-second cooldown. So that's a pretty decent chunk of change, level 20. So you're gonna get some good damage out of this. This is gonna be like a major poke ability because it's got a very long range. Much shorter, or much longer, excuse me, than her default auto attack range, which is actually fairly close in. So, secondly, we'll get into the W, which I was talking about before. W, what this does is it drops a small circle of, I don't think it does any damage. Yeah, no damage. After a half second, blinds the enemy target for 2 seconds. So, here is where she's going to synergize greatly with heroes that can blind. So Cassie deals 15% increased damage to blinded targets. So if I get here in auto attack range, alright, you're seeing here I'm doing 274, which is no insignificant amount. But if blinded, suddenly that's up to 315. And this is going to account for all of her abilities. You see now that spear, which is doing 420 before, is now doing 480. So she's just going to do bonus damage across the board for all damage, basic attacks and abilities. So this doesn't have to be a blind that she does. This could be great if you're playing with a Lily, if you're playing with a Johanna, enemies, heroes that can blind opponents naturally. I think I mentioned it in the Arcanist video. If you take Suppression Pulse, that's going to blind a whole group of enemies, and that's just bonus damage for you. So keep that in mind if you're going to build that team comp in a draft mode, or if you happen to have that, and be lucky enough to have that in a quick match, definitely will work in your favor. Lastly, the E, Fend. Charging an enemy, punch arriving, you channel for up to a second and a half. You deal a chunk of damage for every enemy in front of Cassia. Deals 50% reduced damage to non-heroes. So let's take a look at this. So you do one of these. That's
as the oracles have foreseen.
Let's see what that looked like at level 20. We'll wait till the target dummy sign goes away. Try it again. Alright, I think I got an auto attack in there first, but I mean that was 818 damage per second. If now your opponent's not stunned through this, so they can CC you out of it, they can move out of it. There's a lot of ways that they can do to avoid sitting there for the entire thing. It does bonus damage if you're blinded, but it's a lot of damage. And again, this is untalented. So if you depending on what you can take talents to improve this. This is going to do a lot of damage. It's going to put you in harm's way. You do have to be in melee range to use it. You can get stunned out of it. You can get CC'd out of it. Enemies can dodge it. You see, it will hit enemies behind them. So if I go like this, it's going to hit this whole slew of mercs over here. But again, they can move out of the way. So if you have some good CC in your team, you can get them rooted or stunned or whatnot, and then move in, charge up, and do a bunch of damage. So something to think about. Take a quick peek at her ultimates. She gets 2 of them. First one, we're going to get Valkyrie. So Valkyrie, skill shot, as you can see here. Summon a Valkyrie, rushes to Cassia after 0.75 seconds, pulls the first enemy hit, deals a bunch of damage, and then stuns them for a half second at the end of the path. Valkyrie knocks back all the other heroes in the way. So one of these, it's going to charge through and burn close. So this can be a very powerful isolation ability if you're able to hit it. It's going to knock, if there are heroes to the left and right, it's going to knock them away. It's going to bring the one enemy right towards you, and it's going to blind them, or going to stun them, I should say. So if you know you're going to hit, I'll wait till this target dummy goes back to where we found it. Come on, buddy. There we go. Thank you. So if you know you're going to hit it, drop the blind, and maybe follow up with some damage. And that's just a huge chunk of damage on top of that. I think there's some extra abilities in there that I should have done because of the cooldowns, but 2,500 damage, something like that. It can be a very powerful ability. In terms of CC, it's hard to hit. The enemies can sort of see it coming. It does take a second before it starts to charge through. So you've got to keep that in mind.
Yes.
But as you can see here, you don't necessarily have to hit them dead center. You've got a bit of a leeway in terms of where you can toss it down. I haven't seen that so much in a lot of games with Cassia so far, and the reason being, we'll show you her second ability here, is Ball Lightning.
Choose a talent.
Ball Lightning, 60-second cooldown. Throw a ball of lightning, clearly enough, at an enemy hero that bounces up 6 times between nearby enemy heroes and Cassia, dealing 410 damage to each enemy hit. So, we'll drop this on here. This is just going to bounce back and forth between me and the enemy. If there were other heroes here, it would just bounce back and forth between all the other heroes. Now, what makes this particular ability so powerful is at level 20,
choose a talent.
There is an upgrade. This will bounce indefinitely. So, we can just sit here. It'll just go. This will just go and bounce until it's out of range. Right now it's out of range and it won't stop. It's pretty crazy. I've definitely seen it wipe out enemies who don't realize it's coming. You get a group of enemies, it'll just sit there and just chain between all the enemies, doing a bunch of damage. It can pick off 2 or 3 of them if they're not suspecting. If you've got a group of enemies and you need to split them up, this is the way to go. They either need to move and split up to prevent the bounce, or they're going to just eventually get picked off. Keep in mind, and it will bounce between you too, so you can just kind of sit here and as you walk around, still doing damage, still doing other abilities. You can see, it does get bonuses from being blinded as well. So I think Ball Lightning is probably the more commonly picked ult. Don't let that shy you away from taking Valkyrie if you think it's the better pick. But it's certainly the easier one to hit. It's kind of just fire and forget. So, and at the very least, you're going to get some guaranteed. You get 400 damage out of it just by standing there. So something to keep in mind. Anyway, let's hop out without further ado. We'll hop into a quick match. We'll see what we can get. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get ourselves a Lily or a Johanna on our team, and then we can reap the rewards of just doing crazy bonus damage with our blind. Where is Cassia here? Cassia is right there. There we go.
The wait is over.
She's one of the more recently released heroes. So you've got Diva upcoming. We saw the video for her. She's in the PTI right now. Genji was the last one who was released in Heroes 2.0, and then Cassia. So Cassia's only been around for a couple of weeks. All right. So I didn't actually see who we had on the team. Let's look at it. This loading screen. We've got Uther, we've got Arthas, Rexar, and Falstead. So no blinds. I don't think Uther's gonna blind. So no blinds. That's fine. Enemy team has got Cho'Gall, though. That could be interesting. Lei Ming, Vala, and Brightwing. So Cassia can do okay against Vala. It moves it around. As move around, stops some of Vala's auto attack damage. It's not going to do any good against Lei Ming, however. But if I can get in Lei Ming's face, I'm going to do a whole bunch of damage to her. Cho'Gall is going to be interesting. I'm curious how that's going to play out. We do have, between Falstead and I, we do have a bunch of damage. We do have some tankiness. Uther, Arthas, and Rexar are going to be pretty beefy. So this will make for an interesting game on Braxis. It's a pretty solid map for Cho'Gall because it's only 2 lanes. So he's not going to get spread out. The team's not going to be spread out too far. And we do have a healer on each side, so that's nice. Pardon me while I take a swig of beer.
As the
Let's see.
have foreseen.
I'm going to start off with Thunderstroke. What this does, it's a quest ability, quest talent. Hit 20 heroes with Lightning Fury. After 20 heroes, increase Lightning Fury's damage. After hitting 40 heroes, get a second charge and the mana cost is reduced. Just for the poke. Lei Ming's going to be hard to close the gap on. Vala may be a little difficult to close the gap on. Cho'Gall, I don't know how much I want to get in his face. So, with that being said, I think the extra poke and the extra range may prove to be useful. We'll see how that works out. Looks like we're going to go bottom. Rexar is going to go top shelf with Falstad. Here comes our tank. Alright. Maybe he won't cross the wall. That's fine. No big deal. I don't see any of the enemy team yet.
March forward.
So they've either hiding in the bushes or they haven't made it up here. There is Vala. Okay, so I see one of them. Cho'Gall is on the top. We got Vala and Brightwing down here. And I completely missed that. And that was a wasted blind. The reason that was a wasted blind is because, well, wasted blind in terms of attack, because they were too close to the towers for me to follow up on. You know, the blind may have scared Vala off for the moment, though, so...
Weapons ready.
Missed again. Now, if I don't stack this up, it's going to be kind of useless. So I do want to improve the skill shots.
Strike with fury.
Maybe I can't hit a rooted target. Okay. Well, so the idea, of course, is to not suck and actually hit the things that you're aiming at. There we go. Alright.
Yes.
Get the
Agreed.
damage on Brightwing. So, the advantage here is we're pushing in hard.
Strike with fury.
Where is Lee? I haven't seen... There's Lee May. Oh, I said I hadn't seen her yet. There we go. Keep that going.
Oh dear. The beacons are energizing. You have to control them.
Grab this globe again. Thanks very much. Arthas is going to take the bottom. Actually, he's going to go back and hit the well.
The beacons have activated. Control them. Please let this work.
Meet you
I
there.
really need to hit things. I'm just doing a terrible, terrible job at hitting my damn quest. See, what's the problem with Fend right there, is that Brightwing saw that I was going in, polymorphed me out of it, and that was, you know, kind of all she wrote. I'm going to tap the well and come right back. I'm actually not even going to tap the well, apparently. There we go.
We work well together.
We're going to do this.
Those who prepare endure.
Excellent.
So
The
we took
enemy will
this
have to deal with a much larger
100%
wave
to
of
0,
heroes
so
than
good
usual.
job top shelf up there. I didn't see what was going on with the fight with Cho'Gall and Falstead, but it looks like we won that, and I just ate that entire orb. Jesus, I could play worse.
Before my might. With vigilance.
I do need to be careful. I see you Ming up there. I don't want to get hit. I only have 4 stacks on the talent. Kind of trying to play it cautious. There we go.
Before my might.
Ah, perfect. That's exactly what I want. I want to get the blind on a rooted target and just drop, and then drop Fend on them, just because of the damage that it's going to do. grab this orb.
We advance. I am
Missed my
the
skill
queen
shot.
of Spear.
Just good job, me.
Zerg threat.
I got 10 seconds left on my well, so I'm just gonna hang out. Not gonna worry about it. Now, the other thing that I took level 4 was that I take actually heal for enemies that I can't fall blinded, which I'm not gonna show you because there's 3 people at the moment, and I can't dive in on that.
Choose a talent.
Weapons ready.
I'll call it again, and I might get killed. Oh, I'm gonna hurt
I'm
though.
returning to base camp.
Alright, Rexar went and grabbed a siege camp, so that's solid for us. Falstad is just doing work up here on top, so we're gonna have to watch out. Looks like he's got some company. Yeah, Uther came up there to help out, so that's great.
Strike
Basically,
with
as long as we
fury.
can neutralize Cho'Gall, we're gonna be in business. I'll take this, thanks.
Make haste.
Take down the fort. Sweet. Oh, here comes Cho'Gall. So now their entire team is going to be down here in bottom, which is a little risky for us, but what that means
Like
is
the beacons are reactivating.
Falstad's going to have free reign up on the top.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm going to have to bail out. We're going to drop that there. Hope nobody gets me. They are going to get me, but you're going to get...
The beacons! Capture
Oh,
them!
somehow, I managed to live.
I must retreat.
I will take
Hold the
that.
line.
That's fine. So Falstad gets top and
Weapons
immediately
ready.
flies down to the bottom. They're gonna lose. Uther bailed out, so we're gonna lose this, and they're gonna take both sides. That's gonna be a little tricky. I'm on my way. Uther's gonna take back the bottom, so at least it's gonna stop the timer.
Strike with fury.
Add some damage. Have Thunder Fury,
Your strike is true.
Lightning Fury. I always forget the name of it. We're gonna go Ball Lightning.
Too far.
Clever tactic. Yes, agreed.
Fend, as you saw there, can be used to clear out some minion waves. It doesn't do as much damage to the minions as it does to the heroes, but it does hit them all in the arc, and the minions aren't obviously going to run away from it. They're going to go up. I can see Brightwing bailing out, so let's go and help the team. Cho'Gall wants to engage. He's just going to run into all of us. There we go.
I am the queen of Spear.
Somehow, from point blank range, I missed my skill shot. Oh, that's funny. I'm going to come back bottom because Uther's not going to be able to do this by himself. Alright, and with Uther and I here, we should be fine. Gets stunned. Bella vaults off before he can hit her, but that's fine. That means we've got control.
Strike with fury. March forward.
I really wish I could hit anything. That would be nice. Here comes Cho'Gall. Look at him.
Fort destroyed.
There we go.
Oh dear, here come the Zerg. Fewer than the enemies, or whatever that's worth.
To my side.
We're doing work. We're up 3 levels. Enemy's just about to hit their
Weapons
ults
ready.
though. Just missed her. That's too bad.
Exceptionally done.
I
healer.
know you're busy, but please prioritize handling the Zerg.
We're gonna come up here, help the team. Once we go in, I'm gonna immediately drop some ball lightning. Blind. I'm gonna get hit by all the CC. Thank you, Uther, for saving me.
Now 3. Choose talent. Fort.
We're back off.
A clean kill. Begin mayhem.
So Uther saved my bacon there because I misplayed that a little bit.
Those who prepare.
Give him props. So we're still 3 levels up. We're a talent tier up.
The Zerg
Falstead's going to clear this out before we get there.
I went into the
We're going to call for the
sciences
siege
avoid
camp.
this sort
I'm
of
okay
thing.
with this. Let's head on here. We'll drop a blind and immediately fend.
Atrocities end here.
Grab this. I'm going to go help out Rexar up here with this, although he seems to have it well in order. Falstead went down. That's unfortunate. We kind of ganged up on him. Here we go again. Let's try this a second time. Have some lightning. He's going to explode.
Make haste.
Fine. You get a spear.
End here.
Now 3.
That Braywing pretty much just got erased. You get a stun on that. There we go.
A good kill.
And finally, look at that, hit a skill shot, and I did something with it. I'm happy. Let's take
I
this
think
camp.
we could use some mercenaries on our side.
Untouchable.
Heal a little bit off the camp. Thanks, guys.
No harm shall come to us.
Sweet. In fairness, we could probably just push boss, because we'd just be kicking their ass.
Here we go again. The beacons are powering up.
And we'll sit there calling for it. That's fine. Oh, here we go. Now they are going to engage.
Toward the beacons. They're on the running.
Drop a lightning ball on them.
Atrocities end here.
I'm going to make sure that we get this.
Enemy slain.
And like I said, we're just kicking their ass. There's 2 of them are dead. We're going to take bottom. And then I'm going to take bottom. And then I'm going to go over and tap the well. And then we'll come back
No
here.
harm shall come to this world.
So the enemy is big trouble. I'm gonna hang out with this boss up here. See if I can push just a little bit while they're working out up top.
I shall
We're
purge
gonna
this
get
land.
the Zerg wave on the bottom, and unless we lose top, we're gonna get that too. Got one of those. Maybe I just need to warm up.
Agreed.
Look at that.
At least the Zerg that are coming for us are not as numerous as the ones our enemies face. So,
Keep destroyed.
Just gonna wait here till the Zerg wave gets to us. We lost, killed their keep, I should say. Have one of those. Yep. It's a pretty solid chunk of damage.
Keep
Almost got her.
Go those.
Falstead will finish that off. You can have that. I probably got myself killed here, but that's okay.
Your killing spree
Yep.
is now over.
That was totally my fault. I should have just hung back a little bit. This game, however, is well in hand. Cho'Gall goes down, Braywing goes down, Vala goes down, and that's the core. Let's see. I bet you Arthas is going to get the MVP.
Victory.
Probably because I died at the end. And there he does. Rightly so. He did well. Good job for Arthas. Here is some points for you. Didn't even make it on the MVP screen. That's too bad. That's what I get for getting killed. Let's take a quick look and we'll show you the talents, and we'll tell you why I picked him, and what I picked, and why I picked him, and picky, all the fun stuff, and all that nonsense. All right. All right, here we go. We've got Thunderstroke, hit hero's Lightning Fury. Like I said, quest talent, you hit 20, increases the damage. After hitting 40, it would have given a second charge and lowered the mana. I was just derp mode in the beginning of that, and I couldn't hit anything, so I never completed the quest. I did get to 20 though. You saw I did a big chunk of damage after that. So that's I like that, to take that. It's really what I wanted to do, like I said, with Vala and with Li Ming. I wanted to kind of stand back and poke a little bit, and I think it did the job, assuming I could have actually hit anything in the beginning, but that's just me being dumb. Next up, Ring of the Leech. Cassia heals for 25% of the damage she deals to blinded enemies. Now she's going to deal a whole bunch of damage to enemies that are blinded. You saw I actually got a bunch of heals when I did the blind and the fend, even on the mercs. So I dropped the blind on the mercs and then go up and fend, and I pretty much just healed myself up a pretty significant amount. So that was kind of useful. I like using that. Level 7, Impale. This one's really good. Enemies below 50% health take 50% increased damage from Fend. So not only do you get the bonus damage because somebody's blind, but you get bonus damage when they're below 50% health. So you get an enemy at 50% health or less, and they get CC'd like they did in the game before, like the game we were just watching. Somebody gets stunned or rooted, and they get blinded, Impale, and this is like a finishing blow. You get a lot of damage just off this by itself. Alright, Ball Lightning, which is what I said I was going to take. I was quite okay with this. 13, we have Grounding Bolt. Lightning Fury slows. So this is just, essentially, you throw the Lightning Fury down, assuming you get the hit, you do a chunk of damage, chunk their health off, and you slow them down just a little bit. 16 was Pierce. Primary missile of Lightning Fury now pierces all enemy heroes. Now pierces, I should say, but only splits when hitting heroes. So if you got heroes up in a line, it will pierce down the line, but it will only split the first time. I was really unsure what to take at 16. I could have taken the ability for Fend. Enemies taking 3% increased damage from Fend each consecutive hit. Probably would have worked out. At that rate, this is one of those games where, the game was kind of well in hand, so I kind of let it go. A good option at 16 as well is Martial Law. Basic attacks against stun, rooted, or slowed enemy heroes deal bonus damage equal to 3% of their maximum health. That would have been a good choice with Arthas because he's got the natural slow just from his AoE ability. I don't think with Vala and Li Ming, they were really just living long enough for it to, or have enough of a health pool for it to really make too much of a difference, which is why I went with what I did. Had we gotten to 20, would have gone with Infinite Lightning and just go for the Chain Lightning and then have it bounce back and forth and have enemies split up. So there's Cassie in a nutshell. You'll see, even though I didn't even play all that badly, just because of the blinds and the way she goes, she just does do a whole lot of damage. Especially with Lightning Ball, I've seen games where Cassia just does an absolute ton of damage, just pinging on stuff as they get blinded. A lot of burst damage from her. Enemies do have to be careful of that. So anyway, as always, hope that was interesting for you. Hope you learned something. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I sound. Any of that fun stuff, and we will carry on in the next episode, chugging down the seas where we go with Chen, who is a melee warrior who doesn't really doesn't get a whole lot of play too much anymore. So we'll see how we do in Panda Land. Take care, guys. As always, my name's Conman. Thanks for watching.